Location, location, location. That is exactly what you hear when you're talking about real estate, because what's the most valuable thing? Location. So when people say location, all I hear is Pickering, 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 and Durham. That's right. So this is Hussein Kabani. I am your favorite broker, and I want to tell you today why Pickering is my favorite place to invest in real estate and why I think you should be moving to Pickering and into the Durham region. Now, I've explained this geography to people so many times, but I want to share it with you guys at the same time. And this is my thought about how the GTA market has actually grown. So obviously it started in downtown Toronto and that got packed, right? So they started moving north. So then you started to see development at Yonge and Steeles and then moving into Richmond Hill and then into Aurora. Well, guess what? You don't want to go so far from the city, do you? No. So what happens next? Then the west started to grow. So we started to see developments in Vaughan, Mississauga, Oakville, and they started to get really expensive too. And I mean, Richmond Hill, you can't touch that anymore. That's super expensive now. And guess what got neglected? What got neglected was obviously south, because we can't build in Lake Ontario, but there is a really cool piece of land for sale in Pickering on Lake Ontario for like 62 mil. So if you have any referrals, send them over to me. But the east, guys, the east, people just avoided the east. But when the east started to develop, the way I look at it, the east started to develop further east. So we started to develop in Oshawa and then Whitby and then Ajax, and then we came to Pickering. Like one of the newest, largest subdivisions that were built after like 20 or 25 years was Duffin Heights, which is basically at Brock and Roslyn. And Mattamy Homes started that off by selling in May 2010, actually. And prior to that, there wasn't any large development for like 20 years. The last major development was just south of there around that Major Oaks area. So Pickering really started to get developed later, which kind of worked for it because they built up all of the east coming in, and basically we're right next to Toronto over here. So that's pretty much how I look at pricing and the real estate market growing in the GTA. So I feel like east is still undervalued. If not undervalued, it's a really good deal compared to when you look at other areas. Yeah, is the property tax higher? Sure it is. But do you want to go to Toronto and pay double land transfer tax? I don't know. That could be really heavy upfront costs at this point right now. So aside from how it kind of grew and where I feel like the value is better in Pickering, Ajax, and across the Durham region compared to other parts of the GTA, there is substantial infrastructure investments that's going on right now. And it's not just talks, okay? Like if we look at the Kingston Road Corridor initiative that's going on and how they are actually widening the lanes and are planning on running transit in the middle and eventually light rail possibly down the middle, these are like 20-year plans. But this is real things that are happening, and you might not see it yourself happening, but I am party to what is actually happening here right now because we own some land on Kingston Road that got expropriated by the region of Durham. You know that's possible, right, guys? Like if you own a piece of land and the city wants it or the region wants it for better public use or whatnot, they could take it from you. They'll pay you for it, probably pay you pretty fairly for it, but if you argue with them, you're not going to win it. Like they're going to be able to expropriate that, just so you guys know. So we're a part of this. Like they bought a piece of our land off of us in order to expand Kingston Road. So we know it's happening. We watched them relocate all the utility poles on Kingston Road. So these are things that are actually happening right now. Even if we look at the GO Transit is expanding into Bowmanville right now. So they're adding, I believe, another 4 additional stops. Look at what they just did with the 407. After Brock Road going eastbound, it's free now. Well, at least because we own that section of it. We didn't stupidly sell it off to a different country. So at least we can make it free at this point right now. And that's actually motivating people to move further east and on the north side of the East End as well. Since that got announced, we've had a bunch of calls from people and saying, hey, we would never have considered Winfields in Oshawa as an option, but we are considering that right now because we could just zip on the 407 and get there pretty easily. Even on Simcoe, where they built those condo towers over there, they are starting to get a little bit more traction because people are willing to go a little bit further out right now because they can access it by the 407. So there are cool things that are happening and money is actually being put into play here. And let's not forget about the other infrastructure that they're investing in healthcare. It's a real thing that's happening. In Duffin Heights, they have opened this big medical building there right now that's associated with all the hospitals as well. So there's a plan for a Whitby hospital. Money is starting to be allocated to the Whitby hospital at the same time. I mean, there's no clear details on land and like build and all that stuff right now, but that is a strong consideration and it seems like it's going to move forward. How long is it going to take? Maybe 5 years, maybe more, I'm not sure. But there's a need, it's gonna happen. The money's been already allocated to it happening over there. We're appealing in terms of price across the GTA. There is major infrastructure investments that are going on right now. And not only that, you are seeing investors come in over here right now as well. Again, I know I've talked about a bunch of times with 1425 Whites Road, that purpose-built rental apartment building. I don't know, we could take estimates and say how much it costs. Could we see what the land was purchased at, do a price per square foot? I don't know, maybe they spent $60 million on building this whole thing, but guess what? It was one of the largest multi-family residential acquisitions that was done at the end of Q4 last year, and it sold for $127 million. Like, someone saw the value of actually investing $127 million in one building in Pickering. And guess what? Like, Tribute that's building those two buildings right now near that Home Depot Plaza, Viewpoint 1 and 2, those buildings are basically sold out. There's a third building there, guys, and they have held back on selling that because I believe they're going to actually go with the purpose-built rental over there. So Tribute themselves are willing to put their own money in. It's not they're selling these units and want to cash out of there. They're willing to say, yes, we're willing to bet on it and that we're going to have a good rental market over here. There are still so many applications that are going in for buildings happening. And guys, like, you can argue and say that, hey, like, we have so much inventory, this and that, but that's short-term thinking, okay? Where these developers come in, they're thinking right now 15, 25, 35 years down the line from right now, okay? So these are things that are gonna happen in the future. So maybe it might not benefit us, but it might benefit the kids that are coming up right at this point right now. But there is a lot of money going into this infrastructure over here right now. And again, now, when you compare it back to actually buying a townhouse in Pickering or Ajax or versus buying it in Markham, you pretty much have like a 20, 30% gap in terms of pricing over here as well. I feel like we're probably better located and have this infrastructure that's going in and investments that are going to come in that is actually going to help boost up the value. Remember when I started this video, I told you guys that how this actually grew in the GTA? Well, those investments into infrastructure were poured into those areas. That's what drove the prices of those properties up. And that same thing is happening right now in Durham. Even if we look at Durham Live, like, guilty as charged. I've never actually been to Durham Live because I don't gamble or I don't find interest in it at all, but I've been there for one meeting. It looks pretty cool. People are actually going there. There's apparently some really cool restaurants. They're having more events happen there. The Porsche track is coming there, and they still have development for a lot of other stuff that's going to end up happening there. Again, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, but the important thing is that people are willing to invest a lot of money into this area, and that makes me happy, and it gives me the indication that prices will eventually go up. I don't think the market's going to stay down forever, guys. If you guys are seriously looking at moving and have a long-term vision, I think when you hear location, 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 all you should be listening to is Pickering, Pickering, Pickering. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it to have some value for you guys. My link is actually below. I've been working in this area since 2012, end of 2012. So we've been in the area for a while. I understand it. We follow the projects. So if you guys are considering a move to the east, you got to call me because I probably have more information than anybody else does, and I could probably find it faster than anyone else can. So click the link below. Let's book a quick 10-15 minute call. I could give you guys my advice on what's going on. Make sure that you like this, share it, and subscribe because I have the best content on YouTube when it comes to real estate in the GTA, especially Pickering. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, guys, remember one thing: get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.